Hello dear students, good morning. Welcome to our online class of Lakers Public School and College. In this situation of global pandemic, we are arranging some online classes for you so that you don't lag behind in your study. Please attend these classes and please concentrate on these classes so that you don't lag behind and you can understand your topics properly. Okay, let's go to our topic of today. Hello dear students, the topic we will read today is unit 10, lesson 2. The unit name is Peace and Conflict, and lesson name is What is Conflict. At the very beginning of our class, we will start our topic with what is conflict, with the question what is conflict. Conflict is basically defined or said to be a disagreement among different entities, something like a group or some individuals. When some opposing ideas or actions are taken or thought by different entities. Entities means maybe groups or maybe individuals. When some opposing ideas or some opposing actions are taken or thought by some different entities, then conflict rises. We also can say that conflict is the clash of thoughts and ideas. Clash of thoughts and ideas are is also called as conflict. But is every clash of thought or ideas can be called conflict? Yes, each and every clash of thoughts and ideas is called conflict. But on the depending on the characteristics of the conflict, we can differentiate between the conflicts. Okay. Now we are discussing about the characteristics of the conflict. Conflict always results in antagonism. That means enmity. That means it always creates rivalry among two different entities, or maybe two groups, or maybe two individuals. And often it creates hostility between the entities or the persons who are involved in this conflict. If we leave our conflict uncontrolled, then it will take a destructive turn, or it will become destructive. So then it will start to destroy everything. Next one is it is a part of our nature. It is a part of our life, and it's totally natural. It's a totally natural thing. Every time we take some decisions, we get into one kind of conflict. It's a way of taking decision. Conflict is a way of taking decision. So the conflict, when we are in conflict, we can use conflict as a good tool to upgrade our own learning and understanding. We can use it to upgrade ourselves, our skills, or our understandings, or our learnings, etc. So conflict can work as a good tool for us. Now come to types of conflicts. There are different types of conflicts. First one is economic conflict, second one is value conflict, third one is power conflict, etc. Economic conflict is always because of limited resources and endless demands. As all of we know that our economy teaches us that our resources are always limited, but our demands is endless. So the powerful persons or the powerful entities always tries to capture or to get the most part of our limited resources. It creates conflict between the parties. Okay, next one is value conflict. It is because of the varied principle or ideologies we have. The varied principles of the varied ideologies creates value conflict. Basically it is a political problem. We can see many types of parties or political ideologies in our society. There are some socialist parties, there are some democratic parties, there are some Islamic parties, and many other parties as well. These parties actually are holding their own ideologies or own principles for ruling our country. So these problems or these variety of their ideologies create the conflict of values, and this value conflict also works in our personal life also, because some people the people who believe in different type of ideologies are often comes together in their daily life. So their value conflict also comes here. Another one is power conflict. Power conflict means the influence over social setting. Everyone or every political party or every ideological parties or everyone wants to have influence over their social settings, and the will of having influence over their social settings creates power conflict between the people or between among the parties of them. These types of conflicts are one types of conflicts. There are other types of conflicts also. Next, we will concentrate on types of conflicts. Second criteria. There are 4 types of conflicts here: interpersonal conflict, intrapersonal conflict, intergroup conflict, intra-group conflict. These conflicts are also a part of our conflict. Interpersonal conflict happens between 2 persons or 2 individuals who are involved in these conflicts. It is a natural occurrence in everywhere or every sphere of life. This kind of conflicts happens, and we are very, very much accustomed with this kind of conflicts. It helps us in our personal growth and developing relationship with others. If we get into conflict with some people, some other people, and start overreacting and start doing harsh things to them, then it may destroy our relationship with them. But if we handle this in a proper way or in a positive way, then these conflicts can develop our relationship with other people. Next one is intrapersonal conflict. Intrapersonal conflict means interpersonal conflicts takes place within one person's head or within one person's mind. It doesn't involve other persons in the conflict. It actually happens in our minds. every time we take any decision or we deal with any problem, then this kind of conflicts happens in our mind. Okay, it's a kind of psychological conflict. It's not a proper conflict, or it's not a real conflict. Rather than psychological conflict, it develops our thought, values, and our principles. Because of whenever we get into any problem or get into taking any decisions, then this conflict helps us to develop our thoughts, our values, and our principles by using binary problems or binary solutions for different problems. Intergroup conflict means intergroup conflicts takes place among different groups within an organization. If we take, for example, a MNC or multinational company, these companies has different types of groups or sections in those companies, something like sales group, marketing group, and different kinds of groups. Whenever there comes a time of taking any decision, then these groups are often indulge in a kind of conflict that is called intergroup conflict. It is due to very varied sets of goals and interest of those groups. Suppose sales group has their own goal of selling products perfectly. Marketing group has their own sets of goals or own sets of interests. In the same way, other groups like the budget group, they have their own interests or goals. These goals and interests often collide with each other's or clashes with each other's, and this kind of conflicts arises. But the result of these kind of conflicts are the development of the organizations in a proper way, in a organized way. Intra-group conflict means happens within a group. It regularly happens within a group, arises from the different views and thoughts of the group members. The group members, there are always more than one person or more than 2-3 persons in a group, and everyone have their different views and different thoughts. These thoughts and views always make a conflict in the group. But this kind of conflicts always helps the groups to taking decision or decision making, and to achieve goals in a easier or a finer way. Whenever there is any kind of conflicts, the members of the group solve the conflict by refining their views and thoughts, and this helps the group to achieve their goals. Now, to read the passage, we have to know some to read the passage and to understand the passage properly, we have to know some word meanings. First one is antagonism. Antagonism means opposition or enmity or strife. The next one is hostility. Hostility means antipathy or enmity or malice. Pertain means belong or keep connection. Transpire means occur or happen or take place. Harmonious means alike or similar. Maximize means make as large as possible. Incompatible means inappropriate or awkward. And disrupt means interrupt or upset. Now, we will read the passage of Unit 10, Lesson 1 and Lesson 2, sorry. And we will try to answer the questions which I will give in the Google Class app, and there you will try to answer the questions. And if you don't understand any part of the text or my lecture, then ask me please to clarify the questions. Thank you.